there's just one assumption keeping you stuck. Whether you're in business, whether it's relationship, whether it's all these things. The assumption of this one thing is what is actually common among all the disappointments you're dealing with. And do you know what that is? The assumption of rarity. Rarity depends on what your English teacher taught you. The assumption of rarity. Listen to me carefully. The assumption of rarity is playing a significant part in why you still don't have that thing, place, experience, or acquisition in your reality. Now I'm going to go deeper into this. I only want one thing. I don't even want your number. Don't care if you got another. Cause tonight you're my only lover. I hope you can see it. Oh no, it's below. And I'm gonna give you that one thing, yeah. I'm gonna give you that one rarity, Jesus. Ha! Let me add an I. Rarity. Now you're probably wondering how this goes into play. A lot of times when we say we want things, yeah? When we say we want to manifest things or we want to experience certain things, I mean, in the manifestation world, you're told to believe that this thing is in abundance. You're told to believe that this thing is everywhere. That when you want it, it will come. That when you desire it, it is yours. But now the funny thing is, on a conscious level, we claim, now listen, we claim that this thing or experience is what? Abundant. It is everywhere. Now let me use money because money is a common factor for everyone. So on a conscious level, whether you're trying to manifest sales or everything, you claim that money is in abundance, yeah? But now on a subconscious level, this is where your mind plays games on you. On a subconscious level, you actually do not believe this thing is in abundance. Now listen, do not try to defend yourself. You do not believe this thing is in abundance because you look at life from a point of, you look at life as a desert. And you symbolize this thing as an oasis. So you look at life as a desert. You look at life as if it's a big land full of dry sand and no water. But you look at this thing as this specific thing, this desire. You look at it as an oasis. Now, when you're in the desert and you're thirsty, what happens? You're looking for an oasis because an oasis has water that is going to quench your thirst. Now, good term, quench your thirst. In the desert, you are in the desert. In the desert, you're thirsty. So in this case, the thing that you're looking for represents the oasis that will give you the water that is going to quench your thirst. So on a conscious level, you claim that you believe that this thing is abundant, that you believe these clients that you want are in abundance, that you believe this money, that you believe this place is in abundance. But in truth, on a subconscious level, you do not believe in its abundance, you believe in its rarity. You believe that this thing is rare. And I'm going to show you how you believe this thing is rare. Now, if you look at this thing as an oasis, if you look at this relationship, at this ideal partner, at this ideal house, whatever it is, if you choose to look at it as an oasis, you are going to stay thirsty because in the desert, oases do not exist. Oases are illusions of the mind, okay? Oases are illusions of the mind. Are we together? Are illusions of the what? Of the mind. So if you choose to look at this thing as an oasis and you're in the desert, what happens is you're always going to stay thirsty and you're always going to go around looking for more oases to fill your thirst, but you're never going to find satisfaction because on a conscious level, you claim that you believe this thing is abundant, but on a subconscious level, you actually believe it is rare. I'm going to use the example of clients, yeah? If you are in business, I hope you guys can see these markers are just funny. If you are in business, are we together? If you are in business, of course, you have a specific goal that you want to reach by the end of the month, by the end of the financial year. So what happens? Of course, business is based off of clients because clients purchase your product in exchange, they pay you, whatever. You understand the circulation of everything that's going on. Are we together? Clients. Now, you have an offer for 150K. You have an offer for 150K. But what happens? You don't get anyone buying it. The most you get is like 1 or 2 inquiries. The most that you get is 1 or 2 inquiries. And you're probably wondering, Maybe it's my marketing, maybe it's my advertising, maybe it's my strategy, maybe it's something that I'm doing wrong or something that I am not doing that is causing me to experience this dryness or this emptiness in my business. So let me ask you a good question. Let me just ask you a very, 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 very important. Let me ask you a very important question. What does your ideal client look like? Okay? What does your ideal client look like? When I say look like, I don't mean like physically. I mean in terms of mindset, financial standing, willingness to invest in their business or in their self-development, basically their emotional and physical and financial disposition. You're going to tell me your ideal client is willing to invest more than 150K. They make their payments on time. They are consistent with the programs. They have dedication and they are confident in your work. Now, here's the thing. How many of those clients do you believe exist on a scale of 1 to 10? Most of you are going to tell me that level of ideal client exists on a scale of 1 to 10. You're going to give me maybe 1. On a good day, 2. This indicates what? Rarity. Now, if you believe that your ideal client, that your ideal business opportunities, that your ideal success range is actually rare, then what the fuck do you think the universe is going to give you? What business do you have asking for things you do not believe exist? Because if you believe that this ideal client, this ideal partner, this ideal home is rare, what you are doing is you are actually communicating to your subconscious mind that, you know what, this thing we want is not in abundance. So what we are going to do is we are going to start looking for it. And you might think that in the action of looking for it, you are investing in the business, you are doing the necessary work. But in real sense, you are echoing lack and scarcity to the universe. Then what happens? You don't get the clients. You don't get the business, you don't close the deal, you don't do any of this shit. Do you see where the assumption of rarity is keeping you stuck? Now let's go on a deeper level, because a lot of times people want to ask of the universe of things that they do not believe it can deliver. Let's go on a deeper level. Now that you've understood where the illusion of rarity comes from, let's use it as a mirror to your inner state. Okay? Let's use it as a mirror to your inner state. Wait, before I forget this song. Mbona wanitazama kisha wanza kulia, kama nimekukosea naomba nisamehe, hapana hujanikosea, minalia kwa furaha, mapenzi unayonipa sijawahi kupata. That's the what? This is the thing, the client, the place, the reality, and this is you. Now, you might easily blame reality and say that, oh, these clients do not exist. They are rare. They are special. They are hard to find. Oh. What you are doing is you are escaping responsibility. Listen, there's responsibility, but in responsibility lies responsibility. So you are escaping responsibility in the sense that within yourself, you do not believe that the offer you are creating, that the service you are providing, or the product you are putting out in the market is worth being seen by people. So this is a reflection of your inner belief in the visibility or in the worth of whatever you are doing, servicing, or providing. So this is a deeper indication of self-worth crisis, visibility issues. Do you see? Do you see? So basically, your internal state of believing that your self-worth has an issue, you have problems with visibility, people don't like listening to you, all those which can be summed up beautifully as inadequacy. Inadequacy. So when your internal state is reflective of inadequacy, what happens is you project that onto reality, which in this case is a mirror, and you claim that the client that you want, the client that will buy that 150K offer, does not exist, is rare, is too special, they are hard to find. And what happens? That ends up being your reality, which affirms your inner state, which creates a toxic loop of assumption and reaffirmation. So you assume and you are affirmed, which you continue to assume and you continue to be affirmed. Now you're probably wondering, How the hell do I break this loop? 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 So how we are gonna break the loop? Are we together, my love? My lovely, lovely, love. How we are gonna break the loop is not by trying to find more ideal clients, by trying to believe that these clients are in abundance. Is we are gonna address something called distortion in signal or distortion in frequency. Are we together? Signal or frequency, whichever term you prefer to use. We are gonna address distortion, which in this case communicates the story of what? Inadequacy. So understand that inadequacy is simply nothing but a what? A story. Me, can it beat now? So in this case, distortion communicates the idea of inadequacy, which is nothing but a what? A false story which you are gonna eliminate. Now you need to understand where the distortion operates. This distortion affects your signal. Understand that when you are focusing on experiencing more high impact clients, more executive clients, more payments, more sales, you're focusing on emitting, whether you know it or not, you're emitting a certain frequency, or in this case, you're emitting a certain signal. You're like an aerial emitting an antenna emitting a certain signal. Now, what this distortion does, this inadequacy, let us label it X, and this signal, let us label it S. S for sun. So the signal being S, when it is relayed, if theoretically speaking, this signal is relayed to the universe, pure, without any distortion or any incoherence, what happens? You're going to get the same feedback. So understand that reality is a mirror and it mirrors the signal that you're emitting. In this case, anything that is happening is simply an indication of what is going on underneath. It's a matter of taking responsibility, not treating life like a scapegoat and acting as if things are happening to you. Success starts with responsibility. So in this case, the signal is X. S. Now what happens? Distortion, it doesn't cancel out this signal and come and input a new signal. It just takes that signal and it basically hijacks it and adds X. So instead of emitting S, which represents purity and ideal clients, you emit S. Now this S is characterized by a knowing of, but a suspicion of. Stick with me. Let me explain. This frequency, this incoherent signal, it is characterized by a knowing of and but, not even and but, a suspicion of. Now in this case, with regards to client and sales, it is characterized by a knowing of the worth that you bring in your business and the acquisition and the ease of acquisition when it comes to clients and closing sales, but a deep lying suspicion of inadequacy, of being ignored, of being invisible, and of not getting the right clients for your product. So what happens? This suspicion ends up overriding the knowing. That is why you find yourself in situations whereby maybe you're putting out a product or an offer and you're dealing with clients. What happens? People come and they inquire about this service, they come and they inquire about this product, you're like, wow, you know what? People really, really, really like this. But on a deeper level, you're like, maybe they're just asking, but they will not afford. Or in another scenario, you're dealing with a client, things are going well, they've agreed to pay, they've agreed to stay close, and they've agreed to do all these things. But what happens? Right at the end when you're about to close the deal, something happens, their financials go off, they get called back home, work has a problem, they can no longer commit. In terms of relationship, you start things with this person, things are going quite well, they love you, they're treating you well. But in the back of your head, you suspect that they might be cheating, you suspect that they may not love you, you suspect that they're just acting up. What happens? Down the line, you're going to find something, or someone is going to come and tell you, you're going to find proof of what you are suspicious of. So understand that you're knowing of something, I know they love me, I know these clients are going to stay with me, I know my business is good, is always going to be overridden by the suspicion of, I suspect they don't like me, I suspect my clients will go to my competitors, I suspect I'm behind, I suspect all these things. It is because your knowing of signifies conscious. It signifies awareness, or in this case, perception. But your suspicion, it signifies subconscious. It signifies identification with or identification as. So in this case, it doesn't matter what you know about your business or your relationship or your life. What is going to be relayed back to you is what you suspect of it. Are we together? So in this case, your assumption of rarity, yeah, your assumption of rarity has been keeping you stuck, because even as much as you know your product is good and there's clients and there's market for it, on a deeper level, this rarity signifies your suspicion of scarcity of the ideal clients that you're looking to work with on a deeper level. Now, if I haven't broken your mind and given you an eye-opening session, I don't know what. And as we continue, book yourself a session today. Book yourself a session today. If you're hearing noise in the background, I'm sorry. So even as we conclude, understand that your assumption of rarity is what is keeping you stuck. It's keeping you broke. It's keeping you single. It's keeping you down. So what you need to do is stop assuming that the ideal place, ideal client, ideal business opportunity, ideal house, ideal whatever it is you want, extrapolate whatever you want onto this bracket. Stop assuming that it is rare, because the moment you assume it's rare, you indicate to the universe that, you know what, this thing is actually scarce. And if you look on a deeper level, it's an indication of a self-worth issue that you're dealing with. So do yourself a favor, book a call, and let us collapse potential into form by mapping consciousness through structure. See you in the next video. Bye.